In the summer of 1776, America stood on the edge of revolution. The colonies had declared independence from Britain. George Washington commanded the fragile Continental Army, and British forces prepared to crush the rebellion. But before the war truly exploded, Washington may have faced danger from inside his own camp. A soldier named Thomas Hickey became accused of participating in a conspiracy involving counterfeit money, loyalist networks, and possibly even a plot against Washington himself. Was Hickey part of an assassination attempt, a mutiny, or did fear and wartime paranoia exaggerate the threat? Tonight we uncover the mysterious story of the Hickey plot. By 1776, tensions between Britain and the American colonies had exploded into open conflict. After battles at Lexington, Concord, Bunker Hill, the colonies moved toward independence. But victory was far from guaranteed. The Continental Army suffered from shortages, weak training, poor discipline, internal division. And not all colonists supported independence. Many remained loyal to the British Crown. These people became known as Loyalists. In cities like New York, Loyalist sentiment remained strong. That made espionage, sabotage, and conspiracy very real fears. Thomas Hickey was an Irish-born soldier serving in Washington's army. He belonged to the Commander-in-Chief's Guard, an elite unit created to protect George Washington personally. The Guard functioned almost like an early presidential security force. But Hickey quickly developed a bad reputation. Historical records suggest he was involved in counterfeiting, theft, questionable associations. In June 1776, Hickey and another soldier were arrested for passing counterfeit currency. At first, the case appeared to involve ordinary criminal activity. Then investigators uncovered something potentially much larger. As authorities questioned suspects, rumors spread rapidly. Some claimed Loyalist sympathizers in New York were plotting against the Continental Army. Others alleged British officials hoped to bribe soldiers, encourage desertion, or undermine Washington's command. Soon, investigators connected Hickey to supposed Loyalist circles. And then came the most explosive accusation of all, that members of the conspiracy intended to harm or even assassinate George Washington. Exactly how serious the alleged assassination plot was remains heavily debated by historians. Some contemporaries believed Washington's life had truly been in danger. Others argue later retellings exaggerated the threat. The surviving evidence is incomplete and sometimes contradictory. But at the time, revolutionary leaders treated the situation as extremely dangerous. The fear was understandable. New York in 1776 was a hotbed of espionage and divided loyalties. British forces prepared a major invasion. Loyalist networks operated inside the city. Information constantly leaked between camps. The American Revolution was not just a war between armies, it was also a civil conflict among neighbors. Families split apart over loyalty to Britain or independence. Washington knew internal betrayal could destroy the revolution before it truly began. Discipline inside the Continental Army became critical. Military authorities moved quickly. Thomas Hickey faced court-martial. He was convicted of mutiny and sedition-related offenses tied to the broader conspiracy fears. On June 28, 1776, Hickey was publicly executed by hanging before large crowds of soldiers and civilians. The event became one of the first major executions carried out by the Continental Army. Washington wanted the punishment to send a message. Betrayal would not be tolerated. Reports suggest thousands witnessed the hanging. The execution shocked the army, but it may also have strengthened discipline at a critical moment. This remains the central mystery. Did Thomas Hickey truly participate in a serious plan to assassinate George Washington? Historians remain divided. Some argue Loyalist conspiracies certainly existed. British intelligence operated in New York, and Washington may indeed have faced danger. Others believe the evidence against Hickey was weak. Rumors spread wildly during wartime panic, and the assassination narrative grew larger over time. Importantly, Hickey was not formally convicted of attempting to kill Washington. The historical record is murky, and many details became mixed with legend after the Revolution. Whether exaggerated or real, the Hickey affair revealed something important about the American Revolution. The revolutionaries were vulnerable. The United States did not yet exist as a stable nation. Everything depended on fragile unity and on leaders like George Washington surviving long enough to hold the rebellion together. If Washington had been killed in 1776, history itself might have changed dramatically. The Hickey plot became one of the earliest reminders that espionage, internal betrayal, and political violence were present from the very beginning of the American story. And even today, the mystery remains unresolved. Was Thomas Hickey a dangerous conspirator or a convenient example made during a time of fear? The answer may never be fully known. Subscribe for more deep dive.